Last week, I was at a conference and I attended one of the optional presentations on Google's NotebookLM. Now, I'm not a big Google fan of most of their products, but I must say I was somewhat impressed here. And ever since I attended, I've been racking my brains and thinking about, well, how could lawyers do this? Now, the crux of the matter is lawyers really can't use this to the full potential because this is not HIPAA compliant. Any information that you submit up into here for the non-enterprise version means that it's going to be used as training data in Google servers and all of that's not HIPAA compliant. It's the same problem we face with your regular $20 a month ChatGPT and your regular lower cost Claude by Anthropic. And so these can't have you uploading all of your sensitive client information in there and do it. It'd be really cool if you could, because this is actually a very good tool. What you can do though, and I'm going to get to probably the better use, which is for students and law students and so forth, because it has some really neat student uses there, but it does do some neat stuff if you just upload just case law. Let's say you're researching damages. So I uploaded 4 cases on broken hips. And so I didn't upload any sensitive client information here or anything, just the case law. It's public out there. And so, we can use this and upload. So if you're doing an analysis of just the case law out there, this tool might have some utility for you. Now, most, or I should say more and more law firms are getting AI software plugged into their practice management and their workflows and all that. And so most of that's going to be able to do pretty much most of what this does. So I don't see a whole lot of utility here, but I wanted to do a detailed walkthrough of this because maybe there's lawyers out there, maybe there's somebody else out there, and there's students out there who are going to see this and say, wow, this is actually, I could use this. My favorite tool for pretty much every module for this tool is the mind map tool. So when you upload all of your documents, and I should say, the reason this particular software is intriguing to me is it restricts all of the AI outputs, and this is our little chatbot area here. It functions just like a ChatGPT. It restricts it all to the documents you upload, okay? It doesn't go out to the web and look for additional information. So you control the sources, and that's really important when we're doing, an analysis like this. And here's the other caveat. It will hallucinate, even though it's restricted to its sources, and my hunch is it will hallucinate and make mistakes less, but it will. So you still have to verify and review everything you do. Okay, so I uploaded 4 cases, so all the analysis will be restricted to those. These are 4 broken hip cases across Canada in different jurisdictions, and I'm just going to sort of show you some of the neat stuff it can do. So if we wanted to do, like a quick, just give me a quick bullet point of general damages of all 4 cases, and it'll do that. And it actually loads really fast. Typically, watch it, this one be the exception. There we go. So it gives us a quick rundown here. We've got 30,000, we've got 90, we've got 45, we've got 75. Why such a big range? Which is kind of a key question, whether your defense or plaintiff's counsel, what's going on there. Okay, so you can see how that functions. That's really nice. And you know what else you can upload? You could give just a link to a regular article. You can upload a URL to a video or upload video. You cannot upload spreadsheets, but I suspect that's going to change very, very quickly. So here it is. It answers the question. Here's the discussion factors in the difference. We've got severity and duration. We've got, here we go, better recovery. So there are reasons given here. And so then obviously you're going to, take your client situation and try to apply it to the most favorable case. All right. So the other really nice tool I like, my favorite tool across here, is this mind map. And we jump in here and it creates these mind maps, right? It's like this. We can just move the mouse. I'm just using the roller and it makes it bigger and smaller. And then we click here, and then it breaks it all down. So this is case 1, case 2, case 3. So broken down into 3 cases. We get a summary, we got issue, and then we can break down here on there we go, and so forth. So that's the end of the tree. Some of these trees just keep going and going and going. But I mean, this is something, if anyone's visual or they like to just see everything in a nicely structured format, mind maps are great. I'm a big fan of these. It gives me a really, really sort of good sense of all what's going on. You can imagine if you had, 12 or 15 cases that you were looking at, and this could really simplify it for you. And the other thing is, not a lot of AI software out there that our firms are using will have this sort of tool in there. So this is something you could use for case law research. Again, don't upload sensitive client data in here unless you get enterprise. Now for students, as you can see, this is gold. This could be very, very helpful with lecture notes, papers, whatever else they're going to upload in and make sense of the entire class. Other tools that are, you can create custom reports, okay? So you could just go with these like sort of broad things, not really, but then you can get like specific for, because it understands that this is case law, it's suggested some formats that might be relevant in terms of law. So you could just bang out those and it makes it automatically. We've got quizzes, we've got flashcards. I'm going to show those for the actual lecture notes that I uploaded because it's more pertinent at that. I just thought the mind map was really good here, and I thought the chat is useful because you could go through and you could really drill down, and you could even trying to ask questions so that you're trying to find like the absolute best case. Obviously, if you're plaintiffs, you want to try to fit the $90,000 case in your situation. All right, so that's the case law, and that was that example. The next one I want to cover is the tort lecture notes. So I got some notes on motor vehicle car crashes and torts. It's like 20 pages or something. I uploaded them in here. So again, all the analysis can be restricted to just these notes here. And now let's go take a look at this mind map. Oh, I keep clicking that, as you got to click here and it generates it again. So you can see I'm going to end up with a whole bunch of these. And here we go. So it's breaking it all down. It does a really nice job. We've got, our basic top topics right here. And then we just go break down here and we've got our 4 there. And then if you click here, this is really nice. You see, you click something in the mind map and then it's going to come here and it's going to give you more information about that. And it even clicks here, which is the source right here. And so everything is interconnected and it's contained and restricted in this area. And that's really handy when you're trying to learn and consume a lot of information. Now, the next thing I like about this, because we're in the class module here, let's check out our flashcards. All right, here we go. Where are they? There we go. Okay, so we got 70 flashcards. So I never cared for flashcards for studying much myself, but I gotta tell you, it sure beats writing them out yourself, right? So you just, you got here, what are the 4, and then you just click, you get the answers. Okay, next one, boom, and there you go. So if you like flashcards for studying, you're gonna love this tool. The other one is it creates quizzes. So let's go to the quiz. You've learned everything here, and then we go here and you can take a multiple choice quiz and you just keep going. You've got hints. I mean, this is great, right? Especially for student or for whatever. If you need to know information inside out, it'll help you out to learn it. Now, I also did an audio overview, I believe, here we go. Okay, I'm going to stop talking and you listen to this. I believe this is the audio, and then we've got a video. So let's see how this does.
Welcome back. Today, we're buckling up and heading straight into, well, probably the most common type of lawsuit there is, the motor vehicle accident, or MVA. We aren't just talking about insurance claims here. We're diving into the deep legal architecture.
Okay, so that is pretty cool. It basically turns it into a podcast. Now, why do I say, how could you use that? Well, if you, I don't know, maybe you walk a lot or go to the gym or whatever, and you want to learn this stuff, then you can listen to the podcast. Now I'm going to do the video as well. That's just taking a second here.
We've all seen it, right? The aftermath of a car crash. But that moment of impact, that crunch of metal, it's not the end of the story. In fact, it's just the beginning of a legal one. And today, we're going to unpack the legal anatomy of exactly what happens when cars collide.
There we are. Now the explainer and here you can see there it did move a slide. So it's not like a super awesome like Hollywood level type movie or video, but again, if this is a way you like to learn, then it will put basically everything into a video for you. Okay, you're getting a real sense of what this all can do. There's some stuff I've left out that you probably play around with on your own. And I'm going to go to the last one is Okay, this is a mock case. Now, I was reluctant to put this up here because basically I said you're really not going to put up your sensitive client information and all that here. But let's say you're the lawyer or the law firm who gets the enterprise version. There's a Google sells enterprise, and that's going to be HIPAA compliant. And I did actually talk with the Google rep last week about that, and he said, yeah, if you go on enterprise, it will be work. And then, maybe this is the type of software a law firm decides, hey, this is what we really want to use for a lot of our work. Now, I don't know, it'd be a little bit trickier, I guess, to integrate it into, say, any practice management software you have, but it's all completely possible to do that. So I did upload this massive case. I've created a whole mock case for various videos and tool testing and all that. So I've got medical records that were generated, expert reports, deposition transcript, and an entire case summary. So this is basically like the whole file right here, okay? Liability is not really in dispute. We're really just talking about damages. So we've got our mind map here for a case. We've got a little fake citation there, the incident. So again, this is really helpful for me anyway. I suspect it'd be great if more AI software would incorporate mind maps like this, because it just really breaks down the case like really fast. And then we get here and we've got our break it all down, the injury there, and then we keep going. So you can see some of these can get really in depth, but this is a really neat tool for somewhat of a substantive or large case. The next tool to take a look at would be, I've done the video. Okay, this was interesting because this is something that a lot of commercial AI software for injury lawyers offer, and that is a medical case summary. And this does it. Now, again, you can't upload this stuff to here unless you do enterprise, right? So you don't want to do that. But if you do get the enterprise, this could serve potentially as your medical case summary. Now, I've only used a few personal injury tools that offer medical summaries, so I haven't used them all. Problem with testing tools in this space is it seems like there's new AI software for lawyers every week. Okay, so it gets hard to keep up. But I have used some, and overall, I would say these look pretty good. It's not as dressed up and formatted as nicely as I would like, but it does give you a good idea. And at the end of the day, what's really nice about this is it's a whole lot faster than tediously going through 200, 300 pages of medical records and putting this together. So you can go through here. You could see this. Now you could customize the prompt for this, and that's a really nice thing. A lot of the commercial software out there, unfortunately, they don't offer the options to go customize the prompts. They've got prompts baked into it, and that's kind of partially what you're paying for. But you can't customize it. One that does come to mind, Pro Plaintiff, I use that extensively. You can customize those prompts, and that was a really nice feature. And so likewise here, if you are in a position to be able to use this software, you can customize your prompts, and so you could create the sort of format for your medical summaries any way that you like that serves you best. All right, so we had medical summaries here, and we got a treatment plan here. So there's a million things that this could do, but it just breaks down an absolute ton of information into smaller digestible amounts that you can deal with for whatever phase or stage of the case that you're at. We do have the deposition here, which I thought was kind of interesting, and it includes all that here, and it's all questions and answers. This is all mock. I actually had AI generate for me. It took a little while because I was a little particular, but it was kind of fun to do, to create a mock case. Yeah, and that is about it on Google LM. It's a quick walkthrough. It does more than that, but it kind of fills the gap, especially with the free tools. If you're a lawyer, you might have to play around with it, not with client info, to see how this is something that you could incorporate into your law practice, whether you can at all. The one thing big takeaway for me here is regardless of what software you use, you could just do what I did. You can just upload some cases in there or whatever you got that's no sensitive info. Play around with the mind map and make a request to whatever software you use to use those mind maps. That to me, when I saw that during the presentation, was huge for me. And I'm sure students like the flashcards and quizzes. Anyway, that's a walkthrough. I thought this was a great software. I still haven't fully figured out how lawyers can take full advantage of this without getting the enterprise. Thanks for watching.